Healthy relationships look and feel very different from unhealthy relationships. And oftentimes, we don't really know what that looks like because most of us have had childhoods where our upbringings are chaotic or there is no connection between our mother and father. It's not, doesn't have to be physical, it doesn't even have to be emotional. It can also be the relationship that we saw between our parents. And oftentimes we think we've not had a traumatic experience growing up, but our life into the future will say otherwise. Because if you don't have a healthy relationship in your life presently, you're not able to attract healthy men. And if you're a man and you're not able to attract the type of relationship you want with a woman, well, some sort of trauma has happened when you were a child. And sometimes we suppress that because it's too painful. It's not even that our parents are bad people. They haven't had upbringings where they've seen healthy relating. And so this is passed down from generation to generation. And if we don't learn or unlearn what we saw in our upbringing and we don't intentionally do something different, we're just going to recreate the same sort of dynamic in our adult relationship. And then we're going to pass that down to our kids and so on and so forth. So it's really important to understand the nature of a healthy woman or a healthy man and how they approach relationships. In this video, I'm going to get into the 3 signs that you're going to identify a man that you're dating is healthy. It's going to feel very counterintuitive if you have a pattern of being with men that do things in the opposite way of what I'm going to speak about in this video. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. A lot of women also that I've worked with, even women that were later into their 50s, when I would get into the dating phase with them in our coaching packages, and there was a healthy masculine man that they attracted into datings, because we did a lot of inner work, and then I get women to go on a dating app, and they start to attract healthy men. Their nervous system was not calibrated to healthy. And so a lot of times a woman would sabotage. Now, because you have my guidance when you're working with me privately, I won't really let that happen in that I'm able to identify when a man is showing up in a healthy way. And for me, I can identify traits that women would maybe find boring or triggering, to me are very attractive and feel very safe. And so in this video, I want to get into 3 things that a man will do that might feel very triggering to women. Maybe they won't really understand that these are actually good cues to show that a man is actually healthy. And if you're a man watching this video, you can invert it because healthy women operate very much in the same way. One of the key things that a man that's in his healthy masculine energy will do and earlier on, and especially if we're used to fast-paced relationships, this could be very triggering, is healthy men take things very slowly. Initially in the dating phase, and I also get into this in my ebook, What Men Want, men will pace the relationship. That means that it won't go from 0 to 100 right away. And the progression in terms of even communicating on the app, it will be slow, and even the progression in between dates will be slow. If there is consistent messaging on an app or even before a man has met you, that's super unhealthy. And when we're used to fast-paced relationships, this might be triggering, and we might even see this as a sign of a man not being interested. However, this could not be further from the truth. Men that are healthy are not looking to just go from 0 to 100. They take their time in getting to know a woman, and they don't emotionally invest through texting and contact outside of in-person contact. This might feel triggering for women that are used to men that are very insecure, very needy, that are just messaging you all the time. I would say that a lot of these men are more in their feminine energy, and of course, their unhealthy feminine energy, because the unhealthy feminine energy is very codependent and needy. And so if you're a woman that is attracting men that are very codependent and needy and you like it, it could be that they are filling that feminine gap that you may have to integrate within yourself more. And they are codependent and needy toward you, which you will like if you have to heal that part of yourself. Healthy men, you will notice that there will be communication, but the communication will not be ongoing. Like, it won't be a daily communication initially until there's further levels of commitment. The communication is going to be paced. Pacing is healthy. And if a man has also had a history of being with women where the relationship went quickly, and often when a man is younger, he'll get into relationships quite quickly because a man is driven at that point by his testosterone and hormones. As he gets older, he's not going to be as inclined to move into relationships quicker. So he's going to pace the relationship because he's not going to be driven so much by his hormones anymore. So pacing is healthy. It allows you to get to know each other. And when a man is really interested in you, what you're going to notice is that there's going to be communication and there's going to be ongoing action to move the relationship forward. It's going to be less words and less talking and more action. Healthy men will move with intention, especially if they are at the point in their lives where they're looking for something serious. A red flag is a man that is trying to move things quickly. He might not be looking for something long term. He might just be looking to sleep with you. So just be aware of that as well. A second sign that a man is healthier in his energy and he is a healthy man is he may delay physical intimacy. Now, I've seen this time and time again, especially in my age group with a lot of my friends, as well as even with my partner. A man that is looking for a serious relationship or looking for marriage is not going to necessarily be looking to move the physical relationship very quickly. Now, if there is a lot of attraction, it's not to say that a man is not going to want to be physical with you. So, again, it's always up to us as women to pace men. I also had to pace my husband because there was a lot of attraction there. But what you'll notice is that they're not going to push for any sort of physical intimacy unless and until you are comfortable. A man that is looking for marriage and is serious about you and is a healthy man is not going to rush the physical component of a relationship because he's looking to build the emotional connection and he's looking for something long term. Again, most men have rushed the physical intimacy portion of a relationship. And as they get older, they find that it becomes very superficial and it's not something that can sustain itself because when you move into the physical aspects of a relationship very quickly, it dies down just as quick. And so men that are like have done their inner work and are healthier are not going to look to advance that part of the relationship very quickly. If we are used to having men that are eager or unhealthy, they're going to push for physical intimacy. And that's a red flag. That's something that you also want to look at. So don't be triggered if a man wants to take it slow with you and is like delaying that part of the relationship. In my book, I get into what is healthy and also how I paced my husband in the earlier phases of our relationship as well. The third sign that a man is healthy and masculine energy men specifically, they prioritize their own well being and their needs in advance of a relationship earlier on. This is going to be very difficult for women that are not used to healthy relationships because when we're not accustomed to a healthy relationship, we're used to meeting a guy, spending like 24 hours with him, having long dates with him, and a man really just wanting to spend every day with you. If a man wants to spend every day with you and wants to spend like extended amounts of time with you earlier on, he's not coming from the right place. And again, he's not healthy. As a man develops in his masculinity, he's going to want to prioritize his own needs before a relationship. Now, this, of course, changes as the relationship progresses, especially into marriage. When a man moves into marriage, he's going to prioritize the needs of his wife before his own, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to prioritize his own needs. And I always say in my videos, and especially about masculine energy men, you have to be a very secure woman to be with this type of man because this man is not going to be all about you. So even though he's very committed and he's very family oriented, he's going to have his own needs and desires that he's going to want to pursue outside of the home. And that is what makes masculine men very attractive to be with because as much as they're loyal and as much as they're committed to the woman they're with, they're also very interested in their own hobbies, the gym, sports. So they have their own life and they have their own desires and they have their own mission and purpose that they need in order to feel good. And the woman that they want to spend their life with, they want to make sure that she's not needy and is not going to come in the way of that. And so earlier on, before commitment, a man is not going to put all of his eggs in one basket. He's going to have a lot of different things going on. And a healthy schedule of meeting each other is probably going to be once a week. And it'll gradually increase as you become more serious. But initially, it's going to be once a week. And then even into being a girlfriend or even into commitment, he's still going to prioritize his own needs in a relationship. This is not unhealthy and it's definitely not selfish. I know we've been programmed to think that taking care of our own needs is selfish. It's actually the most selfless thing you can do because healthy partners want to come home or want to be around a person that is well taken care of on their own. And they want to be able to fill that person's cup independently outside of what the person has already done for themselves. And so if you think about it for your own desire as a woman, do you want to be with a man that is like overweight, grumpy, doesn't feel good about himself? And so you have to keep reassuring him? Probably not. Well, in the same way, a man doesn't want to be with a woman that just hates her life, is miserable, is unhappy, and is codependent, because that is a lot to put on one person. And a healthy man, initially, before he even gets super serious about you, is going to evaluate to see how independent you are, because he's going to decide, well, can I meet her needs? And the only way I'm going to be able to know if I can meet her needs is if I prioritize my own needs and see how she reacts to that. Because if she's being very reactive at an earlier stage of the relationship, then that's a signal to a man that later on into deeper levels of commitment, he might not be able to meet all those needs because he has his own life that he also wants to fulfill as well. Okay, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and you can find links to the books and my inner work course on the description box below. If you need to speak with me about your specific situation, you can also book a call, and all links are in the description box below. Hope you enjoyed this video and see you on the next one. Bye.